A lot of the fans have been submitting questions very actively over the last few days, so we're so excited that you're here. But before we get into that, I'll give words to Andrew.
Hi, everybody. So I'm one of the hosts of Grammy Live, and that starts this Friday at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, where we're going to be backstage from all the Grammy Week events, and we're going to be on all the red carpets. And hopefully we're going to see Ed walking the red carpet this Sunday, because he is up for Song of the Year for the A-Team. Now, Song of the Year is one of the general 4 Grammys that we give out every year. It's one of the biggest Grammys that goes out, and Ed will be following in the footsteps of, like, such past people who have won as, like, Need You Now by Lady Antebellum, Single Ladies, Beyonce, Viva La Vida, Coldplay, Rehab, Amy Winehouse. So you're in great company, and deservedly so. We're thrilled to have you here today.
Thank you. Wow, that's a nice list.
Yeah, and the A-Team certainly deserves to be in there. Let me ask you the first question that everybody wants to know. I personally want to know this. I love hearing this stuff. Where were you when you found out that the A-Team was nominated for Song of the Year?
I was on a bus from Philly to Boston, and my manager basically said, if you're going to be nominated for anything, it will be Best Newcomer. So if you don't get that, don't worry. And then I was watching the nominations. The Best Newcomer was one of the first ones that came out. And I was like, cool, okay, whatever, next year. And then my phone just started ringing off about an hour later. Yeah, so it was good.
Yeah, I mean, people are really responding to the A-Team. Why do you think people respond so passionately to that song?
I'm not sure, really, to be honest. A lot of people can't, like, I can't relate to in that sense with the story, but I think everyone can relate to pain. So I guess that's where people find the connection.
Yeah, I think anybody with any sense of empathy can identify with that song.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Yeah.
So I have the very first question from fans, and this was actually a question from Megan, who posted this question for you on Google+. Which of your songs is the hardest for you to perform live, emotionally or technically? A lot of the fans have been asking those type of questions.
Technically, probably a song called You Need Me, I Don't Need You. I keep kind of adding to it, and it is evolving over time, and I will add stuff into it mid-song, so sometimes I'll mess up, and sometimes I won't. So yeah, that one's probably technically the most difficult to play.
Okay. And a question from Twitter, from @Sheeran_SG. What's the best collaboration, in your opinion, that you've done so far? A collaboration that you're most happy with?
I found the EP that I did with Yelawolf to be very interesting. You know, we were only given about 14 hours in a studio together, and to be able to come up with 4 songs of you know, that caliber, I'm a massive fan of Yelawolf, and being able to work with him was a really good thing.
Now, I want to know about your performance on the Grammys this weekend. What can you tell us? What can people expect to see?
It's not going to be a big light show. There's no fire. There's no dancers. It's very stripped back. It's just me and Elton playing a song.
Now, is that nerve-wracking at all, the thought of performing with Elton John on the Grammy stage?
I think it's nerve-wracking just to be going to the Grammys and having to do the red carpet, let alone being nominated and playing. But being able to play with Elton kind of, I think it strips away the nerves a little bit, because it makes it so ridiculous and so unbelievable that it's just kind of, it's good.
So you know the company you're in. Elton John has performed on the Grammys with the Backstreet Boys. He's performed with Eminem. He's performed with Lady Gaga. And now he's performing with you.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Very good. So, and we're all very much looking forward to that performance. It's one of the most anticipated performances for me personally. So more fan questions. This one is from Twitter, from Cheerios with Bass. What is it like to be looked up to as an idol? Do you like to be an idol and be looked up to by people?
I think it took a while to kind of grasp what being an idol meant, but for me it just means being a role model and being able to give kids advice, but like life advice rather than just stay in school, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of the questions from fans that we've been getting is about how humble you've stayed with all of this success, which really makes you so unique and so different. And so even though even though you have all of this success, you stay grounded. Has there been a moment where you've been hit by the fame that you just were like, wow, what is happening? If you really realized it.
Only when I go outside, to be honest. I don't really go out a lot, and I made the mistake of going out on my own to the supermarket when I was home for Christmas, and that was one of the moments where I realised it might have got a bit out of control.
What happened?
There was just a lot of people there.
Yeah. Andrew?
If you are to win on Sunday, who will you be thanking from the Grammy stage?
My record label in America have been they've kind of been the driving force of trying to get the song on radio, which is one of the main reasons that it's nominated. So yeah, Atlantic and Elektra Records, probably my manager Stuart, my tour manager Mark, my parents, anyone that I've worked with or collaborated with in the past, and my fan base.
Yeah, you've got quite the fan base, we've noticed.
They're great.
Yeah, they are.
So here's another question from a fan. This one is from Twitter. Sheeran for Life 21. What everyday job would you like to have if you weren't a singer?
I don't know. Probably working outside, doing something. Maybe like a gardener. That could be quite fun.
Gardener, okay. Here's a question also from Twitter, from the IA team. If you could make your own Lego set, what would it be and why? Which is a reference to one of your songs.
Game of Thrones Lego. I think they need to bring out Game of Thrones Lego.
You're a big fan of the show?
I do like Game of Thrones, yeah. It is good.
Andrew?
I would like to know, what are some common themes running through your songs, musically and lyrically? What would you like to communicate to your audience?
That's never really been one of my objectives, trying to communicate anything to my audience. Because when I write the songs, I don't really have the audience in mind. The songs kind of come from a need to write them, and then when they come out, people can connect to them in whatever way they see fit, I guess. But there's no specific end goal. I'm just trying to get my feelings out and put them on record, I guess.
I've noticed from talking to people over the years that the more personal a song is to the artist, the more universally it seems to connect with their audience. So that makes sense.
It's true. Yeah, I've got a new song on my next record that I wasn't even going to put on because it was so personal, and everyone that I play it to seems to connect with that one so much more than the other songs. So it's it's a weird thing.
That's awesome. If you don't mind, can I ask what the title of that song is?
It actually changes from day to day. But it will probably be the second to last track on the album. So if you just
we'll be looking out for it.
Thank you.
That's a little bit of a scoop there. Thank you, Ed. Another fan question. This one is from Twitter, and I think the Twitter handle is Eyes for Ed. If you could, this is a fun question. If you could be sat at a dinner table with 3 other people, dead or alive, who would they be?
Genghis Khan, because he's responsible for pretty much all of us. I think isn't he responsible for like a third of the world's population? He bred so much, so it'd be good to speak to an ancestor like that. So yeah, Genghis Khan. Musically, I'd like to speak with someone like Hendrix, because I think he'd be a very interesting. That would be an interesting conversation. And Jay-Z really intrigues me as well. I think he'd be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, what do you find intriguing about Jay-Z?
I've seen a whole load of his interviews, and he's got a very, very good sense of humour, but he's also very business savvy. So I think you'd have a good conversation with him from those 2 angles.
Yeah. Another fan question. This one is from Google Plus, Hen Elf, and we actually been getting a lot of your questions about your tattoos. So this one is: what is the meaning behind your dragon phoenix tattoo? And I'm not sure if you're in a place that you can show it. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh, there it is.
It was kind of, I guess, everyone comes when you have success, you come from a dark place into the light. I guess it's quite a kind of wanky meaning, I guess, but I thought I'd get it on.
Nice one. Yeah.
Now, you're going to be going on tour with Taylor Swift this year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've been touring a lot. What are some of the most gratifying aspects of touring?
I find touring gives you an excuse to be elusive, which is one of the things that I love most about life, being able to just be alone and not have to talk to anyone. And I'm also surrounded on tour by good friends and family and everyone that kind of take care of me. And I find like when I'm off tour, that's when all the kind of snakes and nastiness come back into play. I find being on tour for a large amount of time gives you good peace of mind, and then as soon as you're off tour, that's when all the madness starts again.
So it sounds like you're going to be touring a lot.
Well, I haven't stopped this tour. This tour's been going on since May 2011, and Taylor's tour ends in September, so that'll be pretty much almost 3 years on tour.
Very nice.
So while on the topic of touring, I'm actually getting a lot of fan questions right now, and one of them is people want to know two things. They want to know what's your favorite American experience so far on the tour, and also can you do your best American accent?
So my best experience so far has been the Ryman in Nashville. I headlined that a couple of weeks ago. That was an amazing experience, and I don't know what should I say in an American accent.
Maybe you can say, watch my performance this upcoming Sunday with Elton John at the Grammys on CBS.
Yo, what up? This is Ed. I'm going to be on the Grammys, CBS, 8 p.m., Elton John. Tune in, yo.
Very well done.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. So how are you getting prepared for the big show on Sunday?
I haven't really had time to think about it yet. I've got a day of rehearsals in 2 days, but I've pretty much had a tour date every single day with a lot of promos. So as soon as I get to LA, that's when the kind of thought process starts to kick in.
Yeah, I think maybe we can two more questions from the fans that I'm picking up from Twitter right now. If you could ever, this one is from Liam Sugamama. If you could collaborate with any artist, and you've done a lot of collaborations, but if you could collaborate with anybody, who would it be?
Beyonce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what's here. Oh, while we're there, actually, there's a Twitter question about you and Beyonce. It's from Ibi Maruka on Twitter. Can you ask Ed what his favorite Beyonce song is?
She's got a tune on her Sasha Fierce record where she uses the line from Ave Maria, and I like that. It's good.
That's a great song. Let me ask you one more question before we run out of time here. If you could go back in time and have a conversation with a younger, just starting out you, what advice would you give yourself now that you've had a career for a few years?
Keep doing what you're doing. And keep making mistakes because you will learn from them.
Good advice. Thank you.
That's a great advice. Well, maybe that's. What do you think, Andrew? Maybe that's probably a good moment to end. So,
cool.
Ed, thank you so much for doing it, the very first Pop Chat.
Thank you for having me. And thanks to anyone that tuned in as well. Cheers.
Thank you, Ed. We'll see you on Sunday at the Grammys.
See you Sunday. Nice one. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.